And we are back at the stadium for part 2 of the final event of the M&H Winter Games. Only 8 marbles remain, and the next 4 matches will determine which of them stay for the semifinals. Let's get into it, folks. In match 1 of round 2, we have Team South Korea versus Team Finland. Now we have the coin flip, South Korea's heads and Finland's tails. And we got a tails here, folks. South Korea will be going first, and Finland will be going second in our first match of round 2. There South Korea goes down the pegs, down the lane, approaching the slice center. Ooh, South Korea hits the wall just slightly, and that rock will unfortunately be disqualified. Finland now making their first rock. And they have a wide open board. And unfortunately, they come in just outside of the house on the right-hand side. Now we have South Korea placing their second rock. Let's see if they can get the revenge. And not bad at all, coming in just between the blue and the red rings. Now we have Finland's rock. Going down those pegs. Down the lane. Approaching that center. Just missing it, but that move puts Finland in the lead. Now South Korea playing their third rock. Going down those pegs. Down the center, coming in on the left. And unfortunately, that was not a good play at all by South Korea. Now we have Finland going down. Down the left-hand side again. And comes in contact with South Korea's rock there. I don't know what Finland was thinking there, folks. Now we got South Korea coming down. Approaching the opposite side. A lot smarter. But still comes just outside of the house. Now Finland playing the last rock of this match. Going down that plinko board. Makes a nice hit on South Korea, but unfortunately just didn't go their way. But nonetheless, Finland still keeps the lead with that lucky hit, coming in at 1-0. Keep in mind that each point scored is worth 10 points in the end. Now with our second match, we have Team Sweden versus Team Switzerland duking it out. Now for the coin toss, Sweden is heads and Switzerland is tails. And we've got another tails here, folks. Sweden will be starting us off while Switzerland comes in as second. Sweden is now ready to launch their first rock. Down the plinko maze, taking their time. And they come in down the center. And that rock was definitely aiming for the center there, but unfortunately comes in just too short. Now we have Switzerland playing their rock. Down the opposite lane. And comes in just a little bit too far. That rock is still in play, but I'm not sure if it's going to do much for Switzerland. Sweden now going down. A lot quicker this time. Ooh, and just comes in at the center. I think we have the winning play right there. But Switzerland could do anything to stop them. Switzerland now coming down. And unfortunately just doesn't come in close enough. Sweden now playing their third rock. Ooh, nice hit on Switzerland. But unfortunately that has put both teams head to head. Now Switzerland can definitely get this win if they make the right plays. Switzerland playing their third rock here. And just in the middle of those red and blue rings. Now we have Sweden playing their last rock. Down the center. And just inside that blue ring. Unfortunately, it won't be helpful to prevent Switzerland. Let's see what Switzerland's got, though. Coming down on the right. And that play doesn't do much. We'll have to measure to see who's closer. And luckily for Sweden, they just nose out the victory against Switzerland, coming in at 1-0. And our third match is hosted by Team France-Spain and Team Great Britain-Armenia. Let's see who will take the third win. Now for the coin flip, France is heads and Great Britain is tails. And we have another tails here. France will be going first and Great Britain second. France is ready to go with their first rock. Going down those pegs. Down the right lane. Ooh, and just making it outside that house. Almost hitting that back wall. It's still in play, but I'm not sure if it's going to do well for France. Great Britain now going down. Much better play this time in between the red and blue rings. France now playing their second rock. Down those pegs. Coming in at the left-hand side. Ooh, a sharp turn to the right. And just beats out Great Britain. And that puts France in the lead. Man, that was certainly an unexpected move by France. Even put Great Britain off guard. Let's see what they'll do to combat it. And they put a blocker there just outside of the house. Now France comes in with their third rock. Ooh, he comes in strong, but just a little bit too fast on there. Unfortunately, that rock will have to be disqualified. Now Great Britain coming down. Just right, clean in the center, and just a little bit too fast there. Great Britain also hits the wall there slightly, which unfortunately disqualifies it. Now France playing their last rock. And it doesn't do much, but it goes just outside that blue ring. Now Great Britain with the last play. Also coming in hard. Ooh, and they just knocked France right out of the park, folks. And this will give them not only the victory, but 2 extra points. And it looks like Great Britain will be the one moving on to the next round. I thought France had it all the way. Now in our last match of round 2, we have Japan, Iceland, and Italy, Vatican City. Now let's see who will win this coin flip. Italy's heads while Japan's tails. And we've got another tails, the 4th one in a row. So Italy will be starting first and Japan second. Italy ready to go with the first play. Clean down the center. Just a little bit too hard though, and coming in just outside of the house. Japan now coming at second with their first rock. Down that center lane, just a little bit off to the left. And he just comes outside of the blue ring. Now we got Italy playing their second rock. And he's going down that lane in the far right. And he just barely makes it inside that house. Now we got Japan playing their second move. Down the center, going to the left a little bit, and coming in contact with Japan's fellow rock. Definitely not a good strategy there. And we got Italy playing their third move. Also approaching Japan's rocks, but just coming in too short. Now we got Japan going down those pegs, down the lane on the left-hand side, and makes a hit on Italy's blocker, putting them closer to the center. Now Italy's making their final play. He's coming in fast, and he puts a nice hit on Japan, actually benefiting the offensive team for once. Now Japan making their last rock. And is it going to work? Oh, yes, it does. Japan's able to put one of the rocks just a little bit in front of Italy's, and this will allow them to get not only 1, but 2 points for this win. I certainly wasn't expecting Japan to win that one, folks. Anyways, guys, that number 8 has been halved to 4. Let's find out who will be fighting for gold and silver and who will be fighting for bronze. In our first matchup, we have Sweden and Ireland versus Japan, Iceland. Now for the coin flip, Sweden is heads and Japan's tails. And we got our first head of this round, and Japan will be starting off that round, and Sweden will be coming in at second. Japan's now ready with their first rock, going down those pegs, coming in at the center lane, approaching a little to the left, and just comes in right at the center. Great blocker for Japan. And Sweden's now going down. Just narrowly misses Japan's blocker, but not by that much. Sweden's now in the slight lead. But I'm sure it'll change. Ooh, Japan's coming in hard, and it's a little bit too fast for them as Japan's rock gets disqualified. Sweden now playing their second move. Going down the right-hand side as well. Just barely missing their other rock. Man, that would have been a good opportunity to get a rock right in the center. Japan now going down pretty quickly this time. And a nice hit on Japan. They're using their own blocker to get their rock inside the house. Sweden now playing their move. Coming in just in the center. And they also copy Japan's strategy, but it's not as effective. Japan now playing their last rock. Coming in at the left-hand side, and he just comes in short of the house. Now Sweden making a move. And they come in at way too fast. That shot just had too much power. And only one rock was able to get in the house this time, which was Japan's. But nonetheless, they take the lead by 2-0. And we're moving on to our second match of the semifinals, where we have Great Britain and Finland duking out for that second final spot. Finland is heads and Great Britain is tails for this coin flip. And we are back to streaking tails. Finland will be starting first and Great Britain will be starting second for this round. Finland's ready to play their first rock. Going down those pegs, slowly but surely. Coming in at just the center. And unfortunately, that throw didn't have enough power. Now we got Great Britain playing their first move. Coming in at the left-hand side. Barely missing Finland's rock, but not by that much. And it looks like this is just a repeat of the last round, folks. Now we got Finland's second rock going down. Coming at the center this time. And just outside of that house. Now we got Great Britain playing their second move. Down the pegs, approaching the center. And he makes a nice hit on Finland. And that locks Britain just between the blue and red rings. Finland now making their third move down the pegs. That rock's going to the center. Will he make it? Ooh, and he's just outside that white bullseye. I think that could be the winning play right there, but stranger things have certainly happened. Great Britain now going down. Coming in just the center, approaching Finland's rock. And that hit doesn't do much for either team right there. Now Finland making their move. Down the pegs. Coming in square down the center. And a nice hit there puts 2 rocks now ahead of Great Britain. Finland's now in the lead with possibly 2 points. Great Britain now making their last play. And unfortunately that play won't do much as it goes just inside that blue ring. And Finland gets another 2-0 lead here, moving on to the finals. Now our third place match, folks. We have Team Great Britain versus Sweden duking it out. Great Britain is heads while Sweden is tails. And we've got another tails. Great Britain will be going first while Sweden will be going second. Great Britain now ready to go. Down those pegs. Coming in at the right-hand side. A little bit too much power on that shot, but they're able to stay in. Sweden now going down. Coming on the left this time. Also too much power, but he's able to slow down just before he hit the wall. Great Britain now making their play. Down the center line this time. A well-executed shot there just inside that blue ring. Sweden now going down, playing their second rock. Taking his time down those pegs. Down clean at the center. And also just inside that blue ring. Now we have Great Britain playing their third rock. Coming on the right-hand side. And also just inside that blue ring. Man, marbles are having a hard time getting inside that house. Sweden now making a nice hard move. And it looks like that's the breaking point just outside of that white bullseye. Now Great Britain playing their third rock. Coming in at the left-hand side. And he lands just outside of that house. Sweden still in the clear lead here. Sweden now making their final rock. This is a perfect opportunity to score extra points. And they certainly used that opportunity to their full advantage. Now Sweden has 3 rocks ahead of Great Britain, and that'll put them up 3-0 against them. Looks like Sweden will be getting 30 extra points at the end of this tournament. Now it's the big one. We have the 2 finalists duking it out. Team Finland versus Team Japan. This final coin toss will determine who goes first. And what do you know? Another tails. Finland will be going first, while Japan will be coming in second. Finland's now ready to make the first move of the finals. Down those pegs, down the left-hand side. And puts a nice blocker just outside of that house. Now Japan's coming down. Down the pegs. And he misses Finland's blocker, but comes in a little bit too far. Now we have Finland playing their second rock. Coming in at the center. That rock was certainly aiming for the bullseye there, but a little more power could have gotten them the hit. Now we got Japan making their second rock. And he gives a big advantage to Finland, putting them inside the red and blue rings. Now we have Finland making their third rock. They're going down at the center, approaching Japan, but he just barely avoids them just outside of that blue ring. Now we have Japan making their third rock. And it's an average hit, putting both rocks inside the blue ring. Now Finland making their last rock. He's going down hard in the center. And he makes a quick turn to the left, putting him inside the red and blue rings. I thought he was going to be outside the house there, but he certainly proved me wrong. Now Japan making their final play. And unfortunately, it's not going to do much. And this final certainly belongs to Finland, beating Japan by 2 points. Finland certainly deserved the gold medal of this tournament. And as we mentioned before, each point scored in this event is worth 10 points, so we expect some major changes to the final score, especially with Finland and Japan earning those 60 well-deserved points. As well, the final results are also in. Team Finland finishes the event first, with Elijah Johnson being the crew chief for gold. Coming in at a tight second is Team Japan Iceland, with Gaming Master the crew chief for the Land of the Rising Sun. And at third is Team Sweden Ireland, with Witherskull as the bronze crew chief. And now we have the official closing ceremony. Let's watch now as the teams come in order from least to most points. Starting us is Austria, staying in the bottom with only 49 total points. Finishing 15th is USA Kazakhstan, totaling 72 points. And just behind them at 14th place, we have Team Norway India with 74 points. At 13th, concluding the bottom 4, we have South Korea with 75 points. Tied for 11th place, we have Italy Vatican City with 76 points. Also with 76 points and tied for 11th place is Team Slovakia Bulgaria. At 10th place, we have Team Russia Netherlands with 77 total points. At 80 points, we have France Spain coming in at 9th place. Now we're coming in at the top 8. Team Poland begins the top 8 with 82 total points. At 7th with 90 points, we have Team Germany Philippines. At 6th place, we have the Great White North, Team Canada with 93 points. At 5th place, breaking the 100-point mark, we have Team Great Britain. Now we're coming into the top 4. At 4th place, we have Team Switzerland totaling 106 points. Getting the bronze spot, we have Team Sweden totaling 112 points. At silver, we have Team Japan Iceland with 114 points. And winning the 2018 Winter Games is Finland Malaysia with 124 total points. It was absolutely a pleasure being with you folks from start to finish in this amazing series. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys at the next major marble race at M&H Racing. Let's watch now as Team Finland rejoices the victory. And the blow of the torch puts an end to the 2018 M&H Winter Games. The last event certainly had a major impact on the final standings. Japan lacked most of the sports, even losing points, but jumped to a mere second with 114 total points. Finland also had a similar outcome, jumping to first with that 60-point boost. This was certainly a wild ride from start to finish, and we at M&H Racing are pleased you supported your favorite countries along the way. And that concludes another amazing episode of M&H Racing. If you had a Winter Games favorite moment, throw it down in the comments. Follow our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more M&H Racing, and be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as your notification bells so you don't miss a race. As always, I'm your host, Alex B, signing off.